it seems like you haven't been as involved in the passing game as much as last year. How are teams covering you differently, and what's the next step for you to kind of counter what teams are doing to cover you and defend you?
Yeah, it's much different than last year, cause people didn't know about me, and I was kind of just taking advantage of that, and us as a team, we're taking advantage of that, and the coaches believe I can win any one-on-one battle with a linebacker, so that's why I was so effective last year, and now that I have the film to show that, teams are playing me much more differently and aggressive as like linebackers meet me at the line of scrimmage and as I go in the routes, the ends are hitting me, and then linebackers and safeties are playing on and off of me too. So it's just up to me just to figure out different ways to get loose and get free and create separation.
Kristen and then Ed.
Hey, Miles, talking with Doug Peterson this morning, he really threw his support behind you and said that the Eagles finally have that three down back that they've been looking for. I'm curious, what that support means and how you feel 5 weeks into your sophomore season that you're continuing to come along.
It means a lot. Means a lot that they trust me. I trust them. If they decide to bring in a running back, I support anything. I'm for it all. Whatever is best for the team. Because like I said, I'm not a selfish player. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get W's at this point. So, it means a lot just knowing that that coach supports me and trusts me to take charge of this role and just keep being effective on the field and allowing me to do whatever I can to help the team win.
Ed and then Tim.
Miles, you mentioned that teams are playing you a little differently. I mean, what can you do to kind of, adjust to what they're doing to you? Is it more getting in the film room or how do you attack that?
Yeah, just watching the film the previous weeks and how they're playing me and just try to figure out different ways where I can get free releases and not get grabbed or chipped or. And as the linebackers meet me at the line of scrimmage, just still making them miss and going into my route, staying effective in that aspect. So yeah, just watching more film, I say.
Tim and then Martin.
Miles, you obviously had an explosive start against Pittsburgh. You ended up with 11 carries. Any kind of feel for why that happened? Why the overall touches were kind of low despite the hot start?
Yeah, you just gotta give credit to Steelers defense. Their front, they have probably the best front other than our defense in the NFL. It's a very tough front, and it was just very very hard to get the running game going with that front. They pride themselves in stopping the run. But we were very effective in the passing game. So I didn't feel any type of way. Like I said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get W's. But it was very tough to run against them, and they're a very good front, and just give credit to them.
Martin and then Pat Allen.
Hey, Miles, you guys go against another stout defense in the Ravens, especially their front seven. What do you see so far in your film review, their linebackers, especially, like how they get after it and everything?
They're very similar to Pittsburgh. They got a guy similar to Devin Bush. I think that's the rookie Queen. He has speed and he can cover too. But their defense is just they love bringing pressure and really just making offenses uncomfortable. And we just have to figure out a scheme to just beat that and take advantage of their aggressiveness. They're really aggressive, so we want to take advantage of it.
Pat and then Damo.
Miles, I'm sure you're glad you don't have to deal with him. He's on, the offensive side of the ball for the Ravens. But what's it like watching Lamar Jackson from afar?
I'm a fan on TV, so me getting to see him up close, it's going to be pretty exciting. But we got a pretty tough defense ourselves, so we're going to see how he act against them. So yeah.
Damo and then Daniel.
Miles, I remember last year it took part of the early part of the season for you and the offensive line to get to get in sync with each other. You've got practically an entire new group again right now. If Lane can't play, Jason might be the only starter from last year. Is there a process there with these young guys as far as you getting used to them and vice versa?
I don't even say it's that much of a the way you're saying it. I mean, it's next man up mentality over here. There's not a beat missing. With the young guys in there, they're working their butts off. Working hard every practice. It was a great practice today, in my opinion. They're just working. They're listening to Kelsey. Kelsey's leading them, and Stout. They're lucky to have a coach like Stout because he details every single thing, every little thing. So they're getting it right, and they look good to me.
Daniel and then John Clark.
Hey, Miles, we didn't get a chance to talk to you after the game Sunday. What was that experience like to be home in Pittsburgh, to score that first touchdown on a long run? I mean, what was just kind of the overall day like?
Oh, man, it was a blessing. Knowing that I had a couple of my friends and family there up in the stands, and, all my friends are Steelers fans, so everybody's tagging me on their posts and stuff. They're saying they didn't know whether to be happy or mad, but it was definitely pretty exciting, and I had a lot of support throughout the city, even though they're all Steelers fans, but they all supported me, and it felt amazing. It was a moment I'll never forget. I kept the 2 footballs that I scored too, so I'll never forget that.
We have time for 2 more, so we'll go John and then Zach.
Hey, Miles, I believe the Ravens, they blitz a lot, and I believe they blitz defensive backs more than any other team in the NFL. How important is the pass pro for you and the running backs and everybody else this week trying to protect Carson Wentz and watch out for all that?
Yeah, they just have different packages. They bring the same type of blitzes. It's just different bodies, They do a lot of blitzes from nickel and dime. They have more DBs. We just have to discover who the line has, and I'll discover who I have, and it'll be that simple. So, but they do bring a lot of pressure throughout the game, no matter when it is. It doesn't matter if it's situational. They bring even zero blitz, zero pressure, all that type of stuff. We just have to be ready for it and take advantage of it.
Last one here with Zach.
Hey, Miles, the context of Doug saying you're a 3-down back came this morning when he was asked about the possibility of signing Le'Veon Bell. As a fellow running back, what was your reaction when you saw Bell get released? And do you view that like a player or like a fan wondering if he could join the team too?
It doesn't really matter to me. If they decide to make him join the team, that's cool. Whatever it takes to help get us W's, I support anything. I'm not a selfish player, like I said. I'm not gonna feel the type of way. They trust me to be in the game too. So whatever happens, and I'm gonna continue doing what I can to help this team win.
Wanted to ask you just how difficult, when you look at Lamar Jackson and what he can do with his arm, with his legs, how difficult of a challenge is this for you guys? And what is really the key to limiting what he can do on Sunday?
Well, we know he posed a threat. With a guy like Lamar, he can make one person miss and take it 50 yards or even 100 yards down the field. So for us, it's all about just kind of swarming the ball and just everybody not giving up on the play and trying to bring them down.
John McMullen and then Kristen Rogers.
Hey, Javon. Discipline is always big in the pass rush, and Jim talks about it a lot. But is it even more important when you face somebody like Lamar to try to keep him in the pocket as best he can when he is dropping back to throw the football?
Yeah, with a guy like Lamar, you kind of try to, swarm him. Bring a lot of guys, kind of focus on your rush lanes and just not letting them get any open gap to use his legs or try to get out the pocket and extend the plays. So we got a big challenge to just try to keep them contained and trying to swarm and get them down.
Kristen and then Pat.
Hey, Javon, we've talked in the last few weeks about how well this defensive front has been able to rotate through and tire out those opposing offensive lines. When you look at the Ravens offensive line, what kind of matchup do you see coming this Sunday?
They got some big boys, so we got our hands full taking on a lot of them double teams. But like you said, we're pretty deep and we ready to get it rolling and up for the challenge.
Pat and then Damo.
Javon, you know this team pretty well, but how rare is it that you essentially have to get ready for four running backs? I know one is a quarterback, but he's certainly basically a running back. So how rare is that you have to prepare for that?
I mean, it's a lot in the NFL right now. It's a lot of running quarterbacks starting to be formed on a lot of these teams. But like you say, Lamar just a different breed. So it's like a different type of readiness you got to be when facing this type of opponent, because they legit got a great run game, and that's really what they live on.
Damo and then Daniel.
Javon, I was curious your impressions of their interior line, their centers, Skura and their two guards.
I think they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're pretty big boys too. It's just gonna be a lot of double teams and them trying to get us off the ball. So we really ready for the challenge and ready to be able to get after them boys.
Daniel and then John Clark.
Hey, Javon, you really got to see, kind of up close the evolution of that Ravens offense. When you look at what they were doing in Lamar's rookie year to what they did last year, how did you see that change? And did the jump that he made, did that surprise you at all? How did you guys kind of view that in Pittsburgh?
It just, I think he just got more comfortable. They kind of made the offense run through him and do things that he liked. So we just seen him get a lot comfortable and, put a little bit of his touch into the offense, which made it as good as it is right now. So we just seen him, basically, I done seen him grow up and just become the player he is.
Go ahead, John.
I saw you had a sack on Lamar last year, and then I think I saw another video where you had to chase after him a couple times. I mean, does he wear you out trying to figure out where he is and then also trying to track him down?
I wouldn't say wear it out, but he definitely make you tired trying to chase him around the field. You just better have your wind ready and get your running shoes on, because he gonna make you work for it.
On Chase Claypool's final touchdown the other day, it looked like you were signaling Nate Gary to add more depth. What was going on there before that play? I guess, what did you identify and what could have done better?
I really don't have nothing to do with that play, to be honest. That's something I can't really speak on, to be honest with you. I just, I let whoever was a part of that play, I let them talk about it. I can't really speak on it.
That's fair enough. Thank you.
John McMullen and then John Clark.
Hey, Nickell, looking forward, obviously you got the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. What kind of difficulties does he present with that dual threat as a coverage player? I mean, obviously he's a threat to take off and run at any time. So how does that kind of affect you guys?
Well, Lamar is a great quarterback. They got a great team right now. They're very efficient. Just going into the week, we could just tell that we got to stop them. Can't let them get going. Can't let them get any type of rhythm going. And just try to force everything to the sideline and not let them gash us north and south.
John Clark and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Nickell. Will Parks was back at practice, and he might have an opportunity to play Sunday. From what you have seen earlier when he was healthy in camp, what can he add to this defense if he's able to return on Sunday?
Yeah, man, Will is very feisty, aggressive. He's very versatile. He could play anything on the field. He could play safety. He could play nickel. He could play corner. Just very versatile guy. Very instinctive. He can tackle. He can cover. So we need him, and he basically can do everything on the back end for us. And so, we're glad to have him back.
We'll go Ed and then Martin.
Hey, Nickell, just to ask you about, it seems like some of the misdirection stuff teams are using against the defense is working. We saw the Rams obviously do it, and then Pittsburgh did it, and some of these receiver sweeps and reverses. Why is the defense having trouble diagnosing that and stopping it?
Every week, man, we come out there, we give our best effort. We go out there and just give it our all, and things happen out there on the football field, and it ain't that it's difficult or anything like that. It's just we go out there every week prepared to play a game and to win a game, and that's our whole mindset, to come out there and prepare and win. And some teams they make plays. It's the NFL. Some teams are going to make plays, but I don't see us struggling with anything. I don't see us having difficulties with anything. We prepare to win, and we play to win every Sunday.
We'll go Martin and then Les.
Hey, Nickell. Obviously, there have been quite a few injuries on the back end and everything, and it seems like guys have been shuffling around like pretty much all over. With Jalen going back to cornerback and guys moving around. What has that been like? Has that been kind of tougher? Made it tougher to get kind of a rhythm going, like in the defensive backfield, and how have you been able to adjust?
Well, just next man up mentality. When somebody go down, next man up. We need everybody. We need everybody that's on the back end. No one is. When we go to practice, we prepare like everyone is a starter. So if somebody go down, we ready. We available and we ready to play right now. We don't know, with all the COVID and everything is happening. Everybody got to stay ready. So regardless of injury or not, we need everybody.
We have time for a few more, so we'll go Les, Zach, and Daniel.
Hi, Nickell. We were talking to Jalen Mills yesterday and about man defense and the fact that the Eagles haven't really played a lot of it under Jim Schwartz until Darius came this year. He mentioned you as a guy who had a lot of experience in man. What do you try to tell the other guys? What's important when you're handling like rubs and things like that in a man-to-man defense?
In man-to-man defense, I had some experience in the past when I was with Buffalo with Schwartz, and just eye discipline and stand on the hip of the receiver, and being competitive when the ball is in the air. When the ball in the air, fighting for the ball, try to make a play. But for the most part, just eye discipline at the line of scrimmage, and stand on the hip, stand on the receiver's hip. That's why I just try to tell the young guys, just have good, clean eyes, and stay on that hip. When that ball in the air, turn it to the receiver.
If you're on the hip, then that maybe keeps you from getting robbed or picked a little more.
Yeah, it prevents you from getting picked and rubbed when you stay on the hip. Now the receiver, if somebody's just trying to pick you, they got to make a way bigger effort, which will be more noticeable to the referees that you're picking, which will be a flag. So the tighter you could be on that hip, the more effort the other receiver that's trying to pick you, he got to put in way more effort, which gets which gets more noticeable when they try to do that to you if you tight on the hip.
Thank you.
We'll finish up here with Zach and Daniel.
And Nickell, watching practice today, it looked like you were catching punts. I know that's something you did in college, but you haven't really done it much in the NFL. How are you as a punt returner?
I'll let people judge that part. Whenever I'm in and I get an opportunity, well, in my college days, I felt like I was pretty good. I feel like Coach wouldn't have me back there if I wasn't pretty good. And we just down on bodies, and so Coach said a few words to me. He said he looked at some of my old film and seen that I played punt return, and just asked me to go back there and fill some punts for emergency purposes.
Last question here with Daniel.
Hey, Nickell, you saw the Ravens last year when you were with the Rams. When you look at, preparing for their offense this year, have you noticed anything different? I know that statistically, like Lamar Jackson's not running as much. Some of his numbers are down. Are teams playing him differently? What are you kind of seeing on that?
What I've noticed is it's like he's trying to be more of a quarterback, drop back. He's actually trying to make reads. He's like a running back with the football in his hands. He's a running back at quarterback, but I can start to see that he's trying to read coverages, read defenses, and actually throw the ball to receivers and let them do their thing. That's what I noticed from last year to this year. Last year, it was like all run, scramble run. When I look on film, this year he's actually trying to be a quarterback, sit in the pocket, and make throws from the pocket.
What's it been like the last couple weeks, kind of in and out of the lineup? Is that much harder to do than if you were to have a full week to prepare?
It's been good, coach. The coach has done a great job of getting me reps, and also just talking to Lane and talking to the older guys in the line about what to expect, and really staying involved in the game plan during the week has made it easier. It's tough when you don't know when you're going to get thrown in, but it's always been said, if you stay ready, then you don't have to get ready. So my thing is, I'm preparing for the game like I'm the starter, and hopefully Lane goes, and if not, I'm no matter when when it's my time, I'll be ready to play.
Ed and then Jeff.
Hey, Jack, it's been kind of a crazy year, your rookie year here with, all the injuries and stuff along an offensive line. Have you ever experienced anything like this, when you were at Auburn or Massachusetts or anywhere along the line?
It's great, kind of just dating back to the draft. It's been just such a roller coaster, up and down, or not even up and down, just so many injuries and unknowns. I can't say, I think just for many reasons this season's unique. But I've always found that, and it's something Coach Stout really preaches, is that at one point, one of the young guys is going to have to play. It could be a receiver, it could be a D-back, someone's going to have to step up. And I always just figure, I want to be as prepared as I can. So, if it is my turn to step up, that, the team is counting on me and that I'm ready to help win games.
Jeff and then EJ.
Jack, I guess I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but what's like probably the most humorous or interesting story about coming in here and having to have to learn so much under these difficult circumstances and being tossed out there in the fire, and all of a sudden you're looking up there and you're going up against the Redskins defensive line, and then last week you're going up against TJ Watt in the middle of the game. Is there anything that stood out to kind of exemplify what you've had to endure these last couple of months?
Yeah, like you say, it's definitely been interesting, and it just. One of the things is going to the first game, Washington, knowing they had a really good front, and not having a preseason and all that stuff, and finding out right before the game I'm getting the start. There are a lot of emotions, but guys, I think one of the things that really helped was guys on the D line coming up to me before the game, and guys have gone against all throughout camp, like BG and all those guys, and just saying, hey man, you're ready. Look, you can do this. You've played against us at practice. We're just as good. And I'm always confident in myself that I can do the job. But hearing it from those guys before I went out there on short notice of getting that start really meant a lot to me. And just the fact that the coaches believed in me enough just really helped me get that confidence. I can go out there and I can play with these guys regardless if I've had a preseason or an off season. At the end of the day, football is football.
Did if I follow up, did BG get your name right this time? I don't know if you heard that he's calling you by another name.
I heard Jake. A few people thought my name. People will still call me Jake, and I say at least it's fine. I've never been someone. I just kind of like to fly under the radar, keep my mouth shut, and keep my head down and work.
Who still calls you that?
Every once in a while, it's people say, "Hey Jake," and I'm like, it's just drop the E. It's all just Jack.
EJ and Bo.
Hey, Jack. So I know we saw you playing a little bit of right guard and right tackle during training camp. Because of Lane's status, are you mostly at right tackle these days in practice? And what's it been like with Stoutland in the in the meeting room so far this season?
It's been great. And yeah, for the most part, I'm working at right tackle, but also just getting some guard reps because, as you've seen so far is, injuries are hitting the line hard. So everyone's got to be ready to play multiple different positions. But Coach Stout's done a great job getting the young guys ready. You look back to virtual meetings when we started, Kelsey's really the only starter left, that from that original group. And, the job that Coach Stoutland has done and Coach Roy as well, getting us ready to, go play in real games, against guys like TJ Watt and, Ryan Kerrigan, guys like that. It's just a testament to how good of a coach Coach Stout is and Coach Peterson, the whole offensive staff, putting us young guys in a successful position to play well.
Oh, and then Rube.
Hey, Jack, I imagine as an offensive lineman, you are usually like the biggest guy around growing up. But so what is it like being in a room now with guys who are even bigger than you, like, Jordan and Lane? What is that like?
It's funny. I literally said this to someone yesterday. Someone asked me that, and I said it's weird because I go home and none of my friends really played football or college football, so I'm like I feel so so much bigger than everyone, and I feel like an outlier. And then I go here and I feel short. So it's weird. It's nice. It's my group of people. I'm O-linemen have always been my best friends since kind of freshman year. That's all I hung out with. So I'm kind of used to it at this point. But yeah, USC Jordan, that's just you're looking up, talking to him and stuff. So he's one of the bigger guys I've ever seen.
Is he the biggest guy you've ever seen, Jordan?
He's definitely up there for one of them. I mean, I did when I was younger. I actually saw the great Khalid or whatever, old wrestler in the airport, and that was actually I met Yao Ming. I did meet Yao Ming, so he was the tallest.
I'd like to see that picture. Thank you.
It's on my Instagram if you want to go check.
Rube and then Les.
Hey, there's this whole group of you guys. Nate's gotten his first few starts in his career. Obviously, Jordan's gotten his first couple starts. Matt's gotten his first couple regular season starts. How much do you guys all lean on each other as you're going through this process together as the young guys who are all playing now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like, look, we're playing. It's not, like we understand that there were some injuries or whatnot, but we're just kind of getting that confidence and playing next to Matt now and talking, after practice saying, hey, did you see this? Hey, we got to bump this off or, whatnot. But, we're all just getting confidence. We understand that, we're going to go out there and play, as hard as we possibly can. And no matter what the five is or the combination of the five that, we're going to go give it all we want because ultimately, our goal is to win games and protect Carson. So we got to all execute our job regardless if we came in here as starters or rookies or whatever. Look, at the end of the day, like Coach Peterson always says, is, no one's really a rookie anymore. It's kind of after your first few games, everyone's, there's no red shirting in the NFL or anything like that. You're, when I was drafted, I was kind of came in like I need to prepare like I'm going to play because if not, then, you won't last long in the league.
We have time for a few more, so we'll go Les and Dave.
Hi, Jack. After watching the film from last week and talking to Stoutland, what did you think you need to do better? What did you need to clean up?
There's a few things. I like really in general, I just need to kind of continue to improve on my game in all aspects and, kind of continue to develop that chemistry with the guys next to me. But, I'm just always someone critical of myself and I need to get better for next game. And, the more reps I get, I think I feel more comfortable out there and kind of get in the groove and, because, it's different, practice and game speed, things happening live, all of a sudden, bullets flying, you haven't seen a look in practice or, there's something, you don't ever expect going into a game. So just need to keep developing, keep building chemistry and getting better each week.
Thank you.
Jack, you've already, in a few games, you've already seen some of the top pass rushers in the league. Who's kind of stood out the most to you and anything surprised you from those guys?
It's funny. I have played a lot of great guys already. Guys like TJ Watt's a great player. Kerrigan's been in the league for a while and done very well. I think it's just one of those things where I've always been taught, it's never about them, it's about me. And to an extent, it's true. I just know, like when you play a guy like TJ Watt, you have to be perfect on every set. Every set, every foot, your hands have to be perfect. Otherwise, they'll beat you for a sack. And it's something I've really liked kind of playing the best guys so far is it really makes you, bring your best every play, every rep, no matter what. If you're tired after a 10-play drive, it doesn't matter because, he'll beat you for a sack and, make you look bad and embarrass you. So I just, I think the general consensus amongst playing the guys like that is every play you have to bring it. If you're tired, if it's hot out, if it's cold, it just doesn't matter. Bring your best every play and, you put yourself in a position to at least have a chance to be successful.